What's going on, everyone? This is Nate the Great coming to you live from the All Sports All Plays Network, and this is the Sportsstatus podcast. On every Wednesday, going on live every Wednesday and every Saturday. Today's episode is really a preview game show, just like we do every single week. And to start things off, we'll go into the NBA side of things first. There's two games going on tonight. The first one is the Atlanta Hawks versus the Philadelphia 76ers. And then the second game is the Utah Jazz versus the Los Angeles Clippers. There's a lot that I have to say in that game, but let's save that for now. And let's go to Philadelphia versus Philadelphia versus Atlanta. Injuries in this game, you have DeAndre Hunter, who's already ruled out for the Atlanta Hawks. You have Cam Reddish, who's ruled out for the Atlanta Hawks. And then you have a guard, Trae Young, who we don't have an official word on it yet, but Trae Young is ruled as a probable. If he's out, let's just say that this series is over. Let's just say that this game is over. And Philadelphia is going to win this game. Philadelphia, on the other hand, has Danny Green that has been ruled out. Now, something that you need to know, every time, the Philadelphia 76ers are 15-9 when coming off of a loss this season. And then they are 11-2 at home when coming off of a loss. And in this game is Philadelphia. The 76ers are the home team. To be honest with you, even if Trae Young is playing in this game, I think it's pretty easy of what my take is going to be. I think that this series will go 7 games, like said, unless if Trae Young is out in Game 5 and Game 6. So I'm going to go with Philadelphia to win tonight. I think Philadelphia will win Game 5. I think Atlanta will win Game 6 if Trae Young is there. But either way, I think it's going to go either Philadelphia in 6 or 7. Game 1 and in Game 4, the two games that Atlanta won, they were both close. It was a lot of drama, I feel like, in the game. Game 1, they were up 74-52 at halftime, but they barely managed to survive Game 1 with a 128-124 win. But in Game 4, they were down at halftime, 54-38. But they ended up winning this series 103-100. Embiid injury, I think, is also going to be a concern in this game. I think as I mentioned earlier, I think Joel Embiid is going to be put. I think he should be put on limited minutes. Part of the issue in Game 4 was Joel Embiid was put on as 30 minutes in that game and only scored like 17 points. And in Game 4, when Atlanta won, there were not one player on that roster for the 76ers. Actually, I take that back. I'm sorry. That I'm looking at game 3. So game 4, when there was not one person outside of Tobias Harris who scored 20 points a game. That's not good. That's not good. That's what people on this roster need to. In order to win in the playoffs, you have to have more. You have to have more than just one person scoring 20 points a night. I mean, more than 20 points a game. All right, so I'm going to go on, and let's move away from. Let's go ahead and talk about. We already talked a little bit about Joel Embiid's injury. We also are going to talk about. Talk a little bit about Trae Young's injury and who's going to be. DeAndre Hunter's ruled out. Cam Reddish is ruled out. Danny Green is out, like I said, but. To move away from that series, let's talk about another series. As some may already know, Kawhi Leonard is hurt and is ruled out of tonight. Very possibly could be ruled out of the remainder of the series because of a knee injury. For the Utah Jazz, as they expect to play Game 5 of that series today. He's 29 years old and on a right knee. Was hurt towards the end of the victory in Game 4 when he collided with Joe Ingles. Leonard and Kawhi stayed in that game for a short time before he was exited for good. However, this was not the first time in his career that Kawhi got hurt on his right knee. Yeah, in 2017, he missed a lot of time when he was playing with the San Antonio Spurs because of the injury in his right knee. So as what they ruled, Kawhi Leonard is not going to be playing today, which that automatically means I think that Utah's going to get the win, and I think it's over for the Clippers. Game 6, there will be a Game 6 because it's a 2-2 series on Friday. And then Game 7 is needed to be played on Sunday. But Kawhi isn't the only one that is going to be ruled out today. Paul George is not going to be playing today because he is dealing with COVID. He's on COVID protocols, so I definitely think this series is over, and I don't even think the Clippers are going to get another win. So, with that being said, let's move out of the NBA and talk a little bit about the NHL. What to expect from today as the Montreal Canadiens play their Game 2 against the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, Montreal, as expected, well, actually wasn't expected, for me anyways, Montreal swept the Winnipeg Jets. But the Jets never maintained the lead. That's how impressive it was. They're expected to go play the Vegas Golden Knights, who didn't sweep the Colorado Avalanche, but did win 4 games back-to-back. To be honest with you, I'm more excited about this series, even though they beat my Colorado Avalanche, which I'm very disappointed about. I'm more excited about this series than I am about the New York Islanders and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Heck, I'm more excited about this series than I am in the NBA series. The Vegas Golden Knights are game 2, and they're the home team over the Montreal Canadiens. So, in this series, really, I think what the key thing to look at for this would probably be the goaltending. Montreal, they surprised the hockey world with a great run through the North Division, winning 7 straight games and a comeback victory over Toronto and a Swiss sweep of Winnipeg. Now the question is, did Montreal get hot at the right time? Or does the North Division really have competition? The Montreal Canadiens, after winning the first 10 games of the season, Montreal was 7-1-2 and sitting in first place in the North Division. After the first month, the Canadiens were 9-4-2, and they were just 3 points behind the Toronto Maple Leafs. They were dealing with injuries. Claude Julien was fired, and then things started to go downhill from there. However, the one thing is that they managed to hang on to that 4th place in the division, which is why I asked that question. Is there really any competition? So Price was struggling at times, posting a 12-17 and 12-7-5 record with a .901 save percentage, .264 goals against average, and a during the regular season had a negative 1.5 GSA. However, he looks more like a Vizina winner during the playoffs, going 8-4 with a 9.29 save percentage and 2.15 goals against average, with a 7.2 goals saved GSA. Montreal during this season, their top scoring line with Toffee, Nick Suzuki, and Cole Caulfield have been great this postseason. The trio skated to a dominant 82.7 times goal percentage in Game 1 against Vegas. Toffee and Suzuki led the team with 11 and 8 points throughout 12 playoff games. To be honest with you, the Habs could get a huge boost with the potential return of the defenseman Jeff Petrie after missing the last 2 playoff games. He's probably Montreal's best all-around player, and he finished 7th among all defensive men in points and third in goals this season. Now, I talked a lot about the Montreal Canadiens, but let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Vegas Golden Knights, who as I said, they won 4 games back-to-back against the Colorado Avalanche, who, keep in mind, they won the President's Cup. The Golden Knights have now won 5 straight games after taking 4 games in a row to eliminate the President's Cup winning Colorado Avalanche. They finished with the best goal differential during the regular season of .67, plus 67. And the Knights have the best goal differential of any playoff team as of right now, with plus 12. As we've seen in the last 2 rounds, Vegas absolutely sophisticates its opponents. The Golden Knights play incredibly smart defensively and physically wears down teams leading the playoffs with 558 hits. The one team that they really struggled in the past 3 years, and I see a comment. We go into the one thing they really struggled against in the past 3 years was the Minnesota Wild, the team that they play in the first round. Even though I did have the prediction that Vegas was going to win that series in 5, them going really, really close back-to-back and taking it into 7 games like it did was not surprising. The Minnesota Wild have the Minnesota Wild has historically, I say historically because they've only played 3 years. They've always have done great with a record of 8-0-3. 8 wins, no losses, and 3 overtime losses against the Minnesota Wild just this season alone. So to look back, we've seen the last 2 rounds. So they always seem to have their sticks in a perfect position to break up passes and to get in front of shooting lanes, leading them this postseason with 265 shots blocked. Mark Stone is showing why he's the Selk Trophy finalist. So if I had to go with a prediction just this series and just this game, I really think Montreal is going to be in big trouble. The recipe for success is physical defense, great goaltending. So the Golden Knights, play the same style, only much better. So, to be honest with you, after what we saw in Game 1, I think Vegas is going to win this. Maybe in 5. It's going to be gentlemen. It's not going to be sweep, but it's going to be a gentleman's sweep. All right. So, going to transition, moving away from hockey, and talk a little bit about baseball because we do have a lot of games going on today. We have some games going on right now as they just started. The first game happened was supposed to start 10 minutes ago. You look at MLB. The Marlins are playing the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Miami Marlins, they struck out. They have 0 outs. They did not score at the top of the first. It is currently St. Louis at the bottom St. Louis Cardinals at the bottom of the first going on right now. I'll give a play-by-play reaction. Give anything important that is going on in this game right now. Right now, it's bottom of the first, 1 strike and 1 out. We do have Dylan Carlson, who had a line drive to left fielder Lewis Brinson, which he managed to be safe and go to that first base. So right now, if there is such thing at this point of a team winning, I guess you could say St. Louis because they have a guy on base. But he hasn't really scored yet, so I wouldn't say that the Cardinals are winning, but they kind of are. But as analysis going into this game, my predictions really for the rest of the game, I think that the Cardinals are going to. I think that the Cardinals are going probably are going to win. If I had to give like a prediction, I think that the Cardinals are going to win 2-1 over the Miami Marlins. The Cardinals are favored to have in this one they have a 34-33 record. St. Louis has entered the season to be favored in the NL Central, but has lost 8 out of its 11 games, even after taking the first 2 games of the series against Miami. I think really if the Cardinals win this game, really the Cardinals are going to show signs of promise. Well, okay, I say that, but the Texas Rangers have swept the Houston Astros last time they played, and they still are doing trash. But going back into this series, while Miami is on track to win about 71 games, looking at some of the betting lines here, they have to. They should probably beat a 500 level team in St. Louis 44% of the time. However, the Marlins have an edge on the mound of this one, according to what I'm reading. I don't think that's going to happen. I disagree with that. I think that the Cardinals might take the edge with a 2-1 victory. The Miami Marlins, the one thing that is a strength for them right now is pitching, which is a weakness for the Cardinals. However, St. Louis is relying on a rookie in Johan Oviedo for this game. He has 53 career innings and has been awful in that action this season. He has pitched 28 in the third with the record of 0-2, I've said this before. I really think that when looking at giving predictions, I don't think that the Cardinals should I don't think people really should put the record in there, because not very rarely you see guys pitch a complete game. Okay, to be fair, Bartolo Colon pitched a complete game the other day at 48 years old. But still, not a lot of people have pitched a complete game in this. It is top of the second, as the Cardinals have a Miami Marlins are up on top. 1 ball, 0 strikes, and 0 outs. I do think that this is going to be a low-scoring affair. So let's move on to this next game. The Chicago White Sox are playing a home game against the Tampa Bay Rays. The Tampa Bay is currently sitting at 43-25, while the Chicago White Sox are currently sitting at a 42-25 record. Now, if I had to give like a prediction, so they're going to have the Tampa Bay Rays are going to have a Ryan, probably going to be starting Ryan Yarbrough, his projected starting pitcher for the Rays. He has a 3.63 ERA. Throughout his 72 innings that he pitched, which he started, he has started 9 of his games and has 4 relief appearances. The Rays lefty has posted 3 straight quality starts away. Since 2019, he has registered a 3.38 ERA on his road games. However, you look at the White Sox. The White Sox are expected to start Lucas Giolito. He has a 3.81 ERA, 1.11 WHIP. Now, throughout 13 starts, the White Sox right-hander has gone 6+ innings in 6 straight starts. He owns a 3.15 ERA during all the games that he has during that stretch. And at home, he has a 3.2 ERA, which is not bad. So if I had to give a prediction, I think the White Sox are going to win 4-3. So let's go into this next game of the night. Actually, I say of the night, but it's more like of the afternoon. Another game that is expected to start, and I've talked a little bit about this series before, the Reds and the Brewers. Now, if you look at the past couple of series, the Reds do have a 2-0 advantage over the Milwaukee Brewers, as they won on June 14th. They won 10-2, and the Cincinnati Reds won 2-1 yesterday. Now, this is going to be the third game of the series. The Brewers have a mediocre lineup, but has a really good starting pitching. But the Reds don't have the best starting pitching in the league. That's something that really struggle. But when it comes to their hitters, they have some pretty decent hitters out there. The Reds have a 34-31. I will say this. I don't know. They're still in this, but I think that they really should kind of give it up, because they're giving up their competition here, because they have a 34-31 record, and they're going back and forth. They're winning games. All of a sudden, they do nothing in other games. At one point, when Major League Baseball the season first started, the Reds were leading the league in home runs scored, and now they're not doing so. They have above 500 record, yes, but they don't have they don't have the best record out there. The Reds are looking to build on their 5-game winning streak, while the Brewers are looking for a win after playing their last 18 games and winning 14 out of those last 18. The Cincinnati Reds have scored 18 runs in the last 3 games. 4 or more of those runs were in 6 of their 9 games. The Reds have won 11 straight with scoring 4 more runs, while Nick Castillos leads the Reds in 85 hits and 37 RBIs, while Jesse Winker and Tyler McQuain have combined for 126 hits with 82 RBIs. Tyler Mahal gets the ball, and he's 6-2 with a 3.56 ERA with 78 strikeouts in the season. The Brewers have scored 8 of their last 8 runs in the last 3 games, which is not good. Not good. As I said, their last 3 games. Right now, in their last 3 games, they are actually. Hold on. They're currently at least 1-2 or 0-3. Yeah, they're actually 1-2. They do have a win over the Pirates on June 13th, but still, that is not looking too good for the Brewers. So for this game, I'm giving the edge to the Reds. I think that the Reds are going to win, and if I give a scoring prediction, I'm going to go 6-3. Next up is the Padres and the Rockies. This series is not going the way I expected. That's just a little bit of an understatement, as the Padres have not, even though with the great pitching that they have not been able to do much on the scoring side of things. The Colorado Rockies have the 2-0 advantage over them. 2-win advantage over them. This being the last game of the series. The Padres, if the Rockies win, the Rockies sweep. Let's just say that. To go with the prediction on this, is they play in 2-10. The Rockies have that 2-0 series. Now, I don't think that they might pull it off. I don't think they are going to pull it off. So to go in for this series, Blake Snell is expected to be the Padres starting pitcher. He's 2-3 as his record, but like I said, I don't really care about the record. But his ERA is a little bit higher than I expected. His ERA is 4.97, and he's through the last 13 starts. Blake Snell owns a 6.12 ERA over his last 7 starts. That stretch includes an inning effort in Coors Field on May 12th. He has walked 13 batters in a stint where he's issued 20 free passes over the 7-game slump. Now take a look at Colorado's pitcher. Colorado is expected to start Kyle Freeland. He's making his 5th start of the season after returning from a shoulder injury, which is why I think the Padres are going to take that win here. He's 0-2 as his record, but he has an ERA of 9. That's not looking good for Kyle. Let's just say that. The Rockies lefty is coming out of a rocky outing. Freeland has allowed 5 home runs in his last start and it yielded 13 earned runs in his last 9 innings. So they're playing at home. I'm expecting this series to be a higher scoring series for both teams. But I think the Padres are going to win this one 7-5. So let's move on. And going away from Colorado and Padres. So the next game after Colorado and San Diego is Detroit versus Kansas City. Detroit Tigers versus the Kansas City Royals. Now, the Kansas City's Royals, they meet in MLB action. They're meeting at Kansas City is going to be the home team in this. This will be their final game of a 3-game series this week. The Tigers took on a 7-run win on Monday. And then Tuesday, Detroit kept it going with a 1-run victory. So the series is tied 1-1. Detroit had their offense working on Monday's game with posting 12 hits and with a 10-3 win. And in Tuesday's game, the Detroit Tigers were able to eke out a 4-3 win with 10 hits. Casey Mize lasted a 6.2 two innings with an earned on 7 hits. For Wednesday's game, the Tigers will send out Tarek Skubal. Over 60 innings this year, Skubal has 59 hits, 31 runs. 29 of those runs are earned, 15 homers, 29 walks, 74 strikeouts, and a 4.35 ERA. But if you had to look on the Royals side, they managed 14 hits on Monday, but only with 3 runs in their defeat. In Tuesday's game 2, the Royals showed some offensive life in the 7th, but ultimately fell short. Mike Minor went 5.2 innings for 7 hits. So for the starter job on Wednesday's outing, the Royals are expected to start Brady Singer. For this series, with his ERA being 4.85, this series I'm going to go with the Detroit Tigers because Singer has been decent lately, though. Even though Singer has been decent, he posting 5 earned runs over his last 2 starts with 11 innings. Skubal, he's only allowed 3 earned once in his last 5 starts, and had a span of 5 earned in 21 innings in the May, June, those couple of months. I think Skubal is going to stay hot and put up a quality start during a Detroit Tigers win. All right, so up next in this is we do have about 20 more minutes left. So the next game The next game is actually the Oakland Athletics, as they play a divisional rival on the Angels. Look at game one. They have 8-5 record. It's on June 14th. 8-5 was the score. Athletics ended up being the victory. You look at game two. The Athletics won 4-6. 6-4. So you look at game three. The Athletics have a 2-0 series victory. They have a 2-0 series victory, and the Angels have managed 14 hits on Monday's game, but those hits couldn't translate to the scoreboard. With it, as they lose, as I said earlier, they lose 8-5. On Tuesday, the Angels gave up 3 runs during the sixth, with the 6-4 loss. Andrew Heaney went down 5 innings with 3 earned on his last 5 hits. But you look at the A's side, Angels are first off, let's just say that the Angels are going to start off Griffin Canning, who's pitched 50 innings this year. You look at the A's side, going quickly on Monday's game, dropping 7 runs in the first 3 innings. In Tuesday's game, Oakland managed 8 team hits as they powered out the win. Frankie Montrez posted 7 innings and 5 hits and 2 earned. You look at, for today's game, the A's are going to go with Cole Irvin as the starter. But so because my prediction is I think the A's are going to take the sweep. They have 2 nice. Both pitchers are. It's going to be a good pitching matchup. I think it's going to be low scoring. He's earned 12 hits in 12 innings of the last 2 starts. As for Canning, he's coming off of 6.2 innings, which has earned 5 hits versus the Royals. I like Irvin to pitch slightly better in this one. Put Oakland for a good spot to win. If I had to give like a scoring prediction on this, I'd probably say 3-2. All right. Up next, we have a great pitching, another great matchup. Matchup in this, and as right now we're talking in the middle of the third, the Miami Marlins are over the Cardinals. So I wanted to talk one more matchup of today, and on the baseball side, we have the Boston Red Sox versus the Atlanta Braves. Atlanta has not been the Atlanta last year. Let's just say that, because the Atlanta Braves are 30-34. Realistically, they're looking at a chance that Atlanta is may not make the playoffs. The Braves. So now the Braves for today, as they're expected to play today, they combined last night. They combined for 18 runs. The Red Sox having lethal bats in their starting lineup. So you look at this. The starting pitchers of today is going to be Garrett Richards versus Ian Anderson. Now, Garrett Richards has always been the guy to put with the exciting stuff. He's had a hard time staying healthy, though, throughout his career. Richards did, however, make 14 starts with the Padres in the shortened 2020 season. So that's a good sign. He's up 13 starts of the Red Sox this year. Only problem that I have, though, is that Boston is that right to give up 7 runs in the last 10 to the last 10, 1 to 3 innings of work. The Red Sox end up winning both those games, but they will need him to they probably need him to do better against the Braves. Anderson is also coming off. Anderson is coming off a start where he gave up no runs in 7 innings against the Philadelphia Phillies. But Atlanta ended up losing that game in extra innings. I hate the extra inning rule. I hate it. I hate it. Anderson has turned quality starts in his in 4 of those last 6 games, as he has a 3.18 ERA during 8 starts last year. Should be able to come out and do his job in this one, but he's going to need some run support. He didn't have that in Philly. You look at the injuries, you have a lot of people out for the Atlanta Braves. You have Ronald Acuna. Is a probable in this one. He hasn't been ruled out, but we don't know if he's going to be playing. You look at Marcell Ozuna. He's out. Travis Nod is out. But there is one thing that you need to know before before I give my prediction. The Red Sox are 8-1 in the last 9 games with right-handed starters. So, that's all being said. If I have to give a scoring prediction on this one, really Atlanta needs that run support, like I said. So I think this is going to be very high. I think Red Sox are going to score a lot of points. Yeah, I think Atlanta is going to score a couple. But I don't think it's going to be enough to beat Boston. I'm going to say Boston wins this game 10-4 over the Atlanta Braves. As Ray Cruz, shout out to him because he's the one that pointed out, and I'm going to steal his words correct. Steal what he said on the full count. By the way, go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. The Atlanta Braves need a closer, which that is something that they really don't have, which is part of the reason why I think Boston's going to score so high today. Boston, I think, is going to – I said that the Boston's going to win 10-4, but I won't be surprised if Boston scores more than 10 runs. I think majority of those 10 runs might be in the 8th, 7th, 8th, or 9th inning. Anyway, that's not all I have to say on the baseball side. There is, however, one other series that I wanted to talk about is, soccer has been going on right now. French Open, that has come to a close. But there's been a lot of soccer. Uh, you look at um, well, I'm looking at soccer games today. Hold on, I'm gonna have to pull this up a little bit. So there's games going on right now. Uh, in Europe, the UFEO Euro. Um, okay. So I pulled this. I'm pulling this up. Just give a little bit of a scoring update. Turkey beat Italy 3-0. Wales and Switzerland, like I expected on Saturday, they're tied at a 1-1. Finland beat Denmark 1-0. Belgium beat Russia 3-0. England beat Croatia 1-0. Austria beat North Macedonia 3-1. Netherlands beat Ukraine 3-2. Czech Republic beat Scotland 2-0. Slovakia beat Poland 2-1. Spain and Sweden on Monday tied with a 0-0 score. Portugal beat beat Hungary 3-0. France had a 1-0 victory over Russia. Now today is this being like a pregame, postgame show. You look at the matchups today. Now, not all of them are over. I will say that not all the matchups are over. As at 2 p.m. Central Time, Italy will be playing Switzerland. But that is going to be the third match of the day because two of the matchups are already over. You have Russia, who had a 1-0 victory over Finland, and you have Wales, who had a 2-0 victory over Turkey. So if I had to give like a quick update here, so if I had to give, I'm looking a little bit at the live reaction, what they had to say here. Russia had a very important 1-0 victory against against Finland. Finland, the Finnish national team thought they had the lead in the third minute when Juka. I'm sorry if I butcher a lot of these names. Juka Ratila disposed Igor Deviv on the right flank and delivered a stunning cross to Yoel Pohanpolo. Russia got unlucky later as they had thought Mario Fernandez to appear back happened to have a back injury. Happen to have a back injury in that game, which that's not good. This was honestly a great game. To be honest, these low-scoring, close games, I'd rather see some of that than to watch a blowout. Let's look at some of the series. Russia had a 1-0 victory over Finland. Their next game in the matchup, their next game in that series, their standings, Russia is currently second. They lost the first game in that series, but they, however, won game one. However, they won the second one. So to look at stage 3, as I'm pulling this up, they're in stage 3. Russia will eventually play Denmark, which is going to be a good game. Denmark, however, has one loss. And they are going to be playing Belgium later on in this round. If Denmark loses to Belgium, then Belgium automatically is in. You look at Russia, as what I'm reading right now, Russia is probably going to make it to the playoffs as well. Finland is possible, but we don't know much about Denmark. And I don't think Denmark is going to make the playoffs. So, that's really all I have to say in that series. So, enough on that series. Let's talk Wales and Turkey. Wales and Turkey. Talk a little bit about the Group A division. How are the playoffs going to work? Stuff like that. Wales. Wales is currently first in their division, and Switzerland is currently third, with Italy being first. Now, Italy is the only team to have a victory in their division because Wales and Switzerland tied. Turkey is the only team to have a loss. If Italy, like I was talking about with Belgium, if Italy gets that win in the round 2 stage, they're probably going to make the playoffs. Turkey, if they lose, they're probably going to be out. Switzerland and Wales, it could go either way. And then there's one last game of the night, and I already talked about Italy versus Switzerland. Now, to give like a scoring prediction for Italy and Switzerland today, give a little bit of a scoring prediction. I hope that this is a close game. I hope that this is a close game, but I think that this one might be like a 2-1 matchup in favor of Italy over Switzerland. Like I said, Italy is that one team in their division to have a win. If Italy wins, they're probably going to make the playoffs. So that is all I have. This has been Nate the Great, and see you next time. Signing out for now.